Oh god, it's my doppelganger from another dimension. How are you exactly like me and at the same time different? Well, I'm Canadian, just like you. Okay, I guess that's something that makes us the same. What else? I have gravitational powers, just like you. Okay, I noticed that considering you picked up my associates, Dr. Walter Jennings and Arnhem Zola, and you threw them across the room. Hopefully they're okay. Actually, no. I don't think they are. What do you mean? Well, if my intentions were fulfilled, your couple of friends are dead. Oh no! How could you do that, me? Because I'm a supervillain. That's what we do. We kill random people for no reason. Because we can. Well, not every supervillain can do that. I mean, I'm a supervillain too, but I wouldn't even think of doing that to my friends. Well, I don't have friends. In fact, no one from my universe has friends because we're all supervillains. And we wanna kill each other, including the superheroes. How many superheroes have you killed? Well, I haven't found a reason to yet. Reason? You need a reason to kill a superhero? Good God. They should call this universe the Pansy Universe. Well, my universe isn't the only one that's like this. All kinds of universes are like this, where the supervillains have reasons to kill the good guys or other bad guys. They just don't do it all willy-nilly for no reason. Well, I mean, some do, but they're mostly from the 90s. Well, for my universe, we all kill each other, or try to anyway. It's all about the survival of the fittest, and I'm one of the most fittest on my universe. Well, look, I'm all about supervillainy. Don't get me wrong, other dimensions version of me. I mean, that's all what I'm about, but there comes a line where it's like, how supervillainous can you be? And, some things are just not supervillainous, like killing people for no reason. That's not supervillainous. That's being a crazy psychopathic person. That's awful. What the hell are you? Hey, in my universe, that's just what a supervillain is all about. I can't believe your pussy universe is so pussified. I'm gonna make sure all of that is done with by making sure that my philosophy of supervillainy is gonna be the only one in this universe too. Oh god, don't do that! This is a community! I mean, sure, we're all supervillains and we're all about conquering, countries and beating superheroes up, but we have standards. We still have dignity. We still treat each other with dignity, and we still have laws to go by to make sure we're all organized. It's about being a community of supervillains, not some kind of dystopian bullshit like you. Ugh, you sound like such a downer. I bet you don't even do supervillainy all the time. I bet you do something else. Why, yeah, I'm glad you asked. I didn't ask. Well, I'm going to tell you anyway. You see, when I'm not doing supervillainous stuff, I review movies. Do you No, all the filmmakers were murdered by us supervillains. Ho, I see. Well, oh boy, do I have something to show you. Let's go watch a movie. Hello and welcome. Welcome to another episode of the Gravitalk, where we talk about the latest big old blasters to be a big old blockbusters. Blockbusters? Blockbusters, yes, blockbusters to be hastily splattered across the silver screen. And this week is a very special episode because this time around, my guest who will be reviewing the film with me, this will be a very special experience for him because this time I have a guest who's never seen a movie before. I give you guys the alternate dimension version of myself, alternate Graviton. Hello, alternate Graviton. What the fuck are we doing? We're sitting down and we're about to discuss a movie we just saw. It's stupid enough you just had me sit through a stupid bunch of moving pictures with stuff that didn't really happen, and now you want us to talk about it? What the hell is wrong with you? Sorry, guys. Apparently, there are no longer movies in his dimension, which is why I am reintroducing him to the fun of doing that, and also discussing afterwards. What kind of cut-rate stupid supervillain are you? We're supposed to be killing people, not making these stupid reviews for them. What kind of disgusting, awful kind of way of life is this? It's called being a critique. Now, no, wait, a critique is what a critic gives. Sir, it's called being a critic. So, the movie that you and I just watched was Fant4stic 4. Or, as some of the fancy people like to call it, Fant4stic. Because you see what happened is that the 4 decided, I had enough of that A's bullshit. I'm going to go over to that A, I'm going to throw him the hell out of this Fant4stic, and I'm going to take his place. And thus, Fant4stic was born. Yay, Fant4stic! Confusing people everywhere. Yeah, it was awful. The supervillain died in it. Dude, spoilers, Jesus Christ. Oh, we usually don't do that until the end of the movie, you goddamn son of a bitch. That's more like it cursing. I mean, this movie was awful. The superheroes won. The supervillain lost. What kind of god-awful bullshit is that? Please excuse my, to those of you at home, please excuse my current guest. Apparently he doesn't realize how, the classic, superhero formula works. I mean, I know I've been biased against it in the past, but I've come to accept it. But, apparently he has to be a big old stick in the, a big whole, stick in the mud, or whatever the hell, and be all like, blah, blah. The only thing I liked about it was the tone. I liked the tone and the attitude. Yeah, I like that. But everything else can go suck it. Well, aren't you working blue? Since you are being so hard to work with right now, why don't we just cut to the chase and talk about the movie? Fine. The sooner we get the fuck done with doing this, the sooner I get to kill every single person in this universe. And those who survive will be driven into madness and then will kill each other the way it is in my universe. Well, Jesus Christ, maybe that means I should stretch this review out as long as I could. Get it? Stretch? Disgusting. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's backtrack a little bit and let's discuss the history regarding this here franchise we're about to discuss. Do we have to? Yes, we do. You see, now, I come from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is a wide array of all kinds of Marvel characters from it. And and you see, these Marvel characters and these Marvel events and whatnot are adaptations of a comic book. Are you familiar with comic books? It kind of rings a bell, but I think it's one of those things that were destroyed because it made a mockery of us supervillains, made us seem like we were not to be taken seriously, like we were just taken as these fictional characters to make fun of. Well, I killed all of them! Jesus Christ. Well, guess what? In our universe, superheroes are what we owe our existence to. Yes, yes, we get annoyed by them because they're goody two-shoes and whatnot, but we tolerate them because if it wasn't for superheroes, supervillains wouldn't have existed. So I'm okay with them, and that's why I'm okay with movie adaptations, just like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. However, the Marvel Cinematic Universe took a very long time to get together. It was this perfect, well, some people may argue that it's not perfect, but it's this great, amalgam of all these types of superheroes from the Marvel comic books, all coming together, joining forces, and it's a unity, if you will, and I am a part of that unity. I'm very proud. So proud, why don't you marry it, you fucking dumbass? Trying to bring down the mood, are you? Well, anyway, so yes, as I said before, it's a unity. It's like a family, if you will. And, however, it took a very long time to get together because, back in the 90s, and earlier than that, Marvel had to sell a lot of their characters off to different studios. And so when they started deciding to make their own movies with their own studio company, Marvel Studios, that's when they finally did it. That's when they finally created the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the unity began. But at that point, they could only use the characters they had the rights to. They could only use the characters that they didn't sell off the rights to back in the 90s when they had financial issues. And so, however, due to the abundant success of their universe and how much everybody loved it, they began slowly getting their characters back. And, and so characters who previously were in movies were being given back to Marvel, to reboot and put back into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Characters like a Daredevil and the Punisher, and pretty soon Blade, and Ghost Rider, and even Man-Thing. Okay, I know not everyone cares about Man-Thing. Okay, fine. Spider-Man. There, happy I said it. Well, technically, Spider-Man is shared with Marvel Studios, not completely owned. But yes, the Marvel Studios cinematic universe is growing exponentially. But, unfortunately, there seems to be a few characters that they sold the rights to back in the 90s that continue to not be owned by them and continue to not be a part of this unity. And two of those in particular are X-Men and Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four! Da, 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 da. Yes, those are the two that are the ones that got away, so to speak. They continue to be elusive, away from Marvel Studios' grasp, and so they are the ones that cannot interact with the rest, and so they live in exile, in cinematic universe exile, belonging to Fox. And now Fox is like, hey, let's make our own universe with blackjack and hookers and stuff like that. I wasn't paying attention to any of that. I was too busy thinking about how I'm gonna kill you after this review. It's gonna be so awesome. Your blood is gonna be everywhere. Oh god. So anyway, yes, so Fantastic Four and X-Men continue to not be in the cinematic universe's grasp, and so Fox is like, yep, we still have those characters, and it seems like they're living in the past now. They want to hold on to those characters and do their own thing with them. And it's like, hey, why can't you be a team player? Now, to be fair, X-Men is such an extensive universe on its own, with its own mythology and stuff, that it's okay that that stays in its own universe. So you know what? It's fine, whatever. X-Men, you keep doing your own thing. But Fantastic Four, on the other hand, Jesus fucking Christ, if there was ever a bit of characters that deserve to interact with the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it was the Fantastic Four. I mean, they've got so many characters and the characters themselves that would be, that would be great additions to the cinematic universe, and yet Fox is like, no, we're keeping them, no. They're ours. We wanna keep them. And this has been like that since the 1990s. Since like 1994, Fantastic Four continues to not be owned by Marvel, and so when the and so in 2005, when we had the Fantastic Four 2005 adaptation instead of the shitty ass one that was in the 1990s that wasn't even put in theaters, but you can easily look up on YouTube. There, I watched it just now. See how easy it is to watch it. But anyway, so back then, when we had the actual theatrical movies in the mid 2000s, those, however, were fine. They were like, okay, whatever, because this was during a time back when, everything was scattered. Everything was scattered about. All of these Marvel movies were made by different people, made by separate studios, and we were like, okay, whatever, fine. But funny enough, the last time we had a Fantastic Four movie was in the mid 2000s, which was 2007, and so it was and so only 1 year later, funny enough, is when the Marvel Cinematic Universe started. And that's when the path to a unity happened, when everything was assimilating into one great organism. But Fantastic Four continued to not be a part of that. It continued to not be a team player. And granted, Fox had an opportunity. They had the opportunity to sell the rights back to Marvel so they could do their own thing with it. But no, they were like, no, we're keeping this. Ugh, we caved in with Daredevil, but not with Fantastic Four. God damn it. We are keeping that for all it's worth. And so we are going to reboot it. And the public was like, oh, so it could be in the cinematic universe? And they were like, no, so we can do our own thing with it. And of course, this feels like a little bit of a deja vu, if you know what I mean. A little bit of history repeating itself.